Peace and love, everyone. Thanks for being here live. Hey, Quiet Energy. Thanks for being here. Super appreciate it. Today's title is Heaven Within, Mystical Jesus and the Fire of Divine Union. Words to say before I die. No, that's not what I meant. Words to say before I leave. But that's also true. Words to say before I die. That's read the script, Peter. Or here's the other title. Or Mary, Thomas, and Yeshua, the hidden teachings of the inner path. I'm going to start my job on September 8th. Hey, Zoe. Hey, Amy. Good morning, all. So before we begin, let's just take a moment to settle into meditation, bring our hearts together inside the one. Take a few slow breaths. I had the birds on earlier, but there's airplanes going by and Harley Davidsons, and so I shut that microphone off outside. So maybe I'll turn it on later. Catch a few of the birds before we go. Thanks for being here live. But before we begin, I want to invite you into a sacred listening, not just with your ears, but with your heart, your body, your breath, your being. You and I have walked this mystical road together for some time now, more than 5 years, through silence, scriptures of all different types, East and West, near-death experiences, deep prayer, and the burning questions of the soul. Along the way, we've discovered that the teachings of Jesus, nay, Yeshua, especially when read through the eyes of the mystics and the experience of a soul dissolved into the beloved, with capital B, are more than moral instructions or theological debate or doctrines or dogmas. They are invitations way beyond those things. These are openings. They're sparks that can set souls on fire. Today, only 1 week before Not Church ceases production as it is, and I may toss out some videos in the future. They'll be pre-recorded, but we'll see what happens. So stay subscribed. I want to share a thread of gospel passages that, woven together, create a single luminous teaching. This is kind of the thrust of everything I've been talking about. One that echoes through my own NDEs, through your lives, and the great mystics of every tradition. This thread is about heaven, capital H, not as something far away or just after death, which it is, but also most importantly, here and now and within. So let's walk this little path together. Before I go on, I got to clean my glasses. There's a baby in my house this week. My grandson's visiting with my son and daughter-in-law for a wedding, and the house was well packed, and my grandson just grabbed my glasses before I came in. So here's Luke 17, 20 to 21. And I'm just going to read a bunch of quotes, and we're going to talk about each one very briefly. But this is the through line. When I came back from my NDE, these are the things that I saw in the Gospels that are near-death experience related. The realm is within you. The realm of God, this is Jesus, the realm of God is not coming with things that can be observed, nor will they say, look, here it is, or there it is. For indeed, the powerful dimension of the beloved is within you. And yes, I changed the language, but it's what it means. The powerful dimension of the beloved is already inside of you. And this is one of the most radical statements Yeshua ever made. And it's one of the most overlooked or misunderstood. He says, heaven is not some external thing, not just this external thing. It's something that you'll find after death, but it's not something you really find in a temple. And you don't find it in doctrines, and you rarely find it in church or even in perfect practice. It's not in the clouds above. It's not reserved for the afterlife. It's already here in the deepest interior of your being and everywhere, all the time, in everything, in the microphone, in everyone, no exclusions, no exceptions, everyone, everywhere, all the time. The trick is to see it in oneself so that then one sees it more clearly in others. And this is the mystical path. What I experienced when I was dead was not that God was elsewhere, but that the omnibenevolent was, will be, and always is the ground of being within me and you. Heaven within, the light is in you. This changes everything. It's not way out there. The way out is in. It's inward. The way out is in. 2. The single eye of the heart, Matthew 6. The eye, singular in the Greek, the eye is the lamp of the body. If your eye is single, your whole body will be filled with light. When Jesus speaks of the single eye, he's pointing to the undivided awareness, the end of duality, the eye of the heart, the eye that sees as the deity sees. It's in this eye that opens, we find samadhi, in the luminous clarity of mystical union, available here and now alive. When the eye is single, when we're no longer split by judgment, fear, or separation, then the light floods into the whole being. The only one in the way of that light emerging inside of me is me. And the same is true for all of us. I'm in my own way, which is why the practice of meditation and centering and silence of the egoic self and non-attachment matters so much. It's why they teach it east and west. In this metaphor, it's not about me, okay? It is about memory. The light, capital L, the light is genuine. The light is love. It's love. I could have picked one or the other words or 100 other words. The radiance, the benevolent, the forgiving, the merciful, any of the 99 names of Islam, they all fit. Not of Islam, but of God in Islam. The light is love. And when that single eye opens in us, in our boom, boom, opens here, pow, opens here. What is on my arm? When it opens in us, our whole being is transformed through surrender and silence, through love. The surrender and the silence, we're completely transformed, transfigured, you could say. Transfigured. Remember that word? Transfigured when Jesus is up on the mount and he's with the disciple and he's transfigured into light. That happens to us. Maybe not as dramatically, but it happens to us. Our whole being is transfigured. John 14, 3rd. I am in you and you are in me. On that day, Yeshua is saying, on that day, you will know that I am in my mother and you are in me and I am in you. And yes, I changed the gender because God has no gender. There was no gender on the other side. I didn't have a gender. I'm sure that in my incarnations, I was many genders. I was many things. From lizards to humans. And on that day, you will know that I am in my mother and you in me and I in you. These centered spaces inside ourselves. This is the Christ consciousness, direct teaching on the divine union. He's saying it right here. He doesn't speak of hierarchies, ladders to climb, or perfections to earn. He emphasizes this mutual indwelling. It's more like a communion. This is the language of the mystics. I and you and me. And who does it echo? It echoes in the Upanishads, in Rumi, Meister Eckhart, Julian in Norwich. You just name them. It's everywhere because it is everywhere. And he's not asking us just to believe this blindly. He's pointing to an experience we can access, one that many of us already have had. That's one of the reasons why you're here, if only briefly. And briefly is enough. You don't need a big blown up NDE. Brief and tiny, one speck is enough. One sip is enough. For many of us, especially those of us who've glimpsed the veil torn away in death, or through any kind of contemplative prayer or divine grace or mystical grace, mystical experience, we know that this is true. We've tasted it. Our thirst has been slacked by it. You and I are already in the Spirit, and the Spirit is already in us. And it's universally true. John 8, number 4, the light of life. I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will always have the light of life. And this is totally true. This is what I've been trying to say about the heaven bubble. There's nowhere that it's not. The light of life is not only moral clarity or spiritual head knowledge. It's something so much more profound, an inner illumination that guides, heals, and restores. It's the radiance that comes to me because it came to me in death. But now it comes to me in life because it is life. You feel it in nature. It's the radiance that Mary Magdalene beheld at the tomb. It's the radiance that fills us when we're still ourselves in the presence itself. We can be human and divine. We are. We just don't remember our divinity. To follow Yeshua, Jesus, means to turn toward the nameless, formless, uncreated light, not to cling to form or doctrine, but to orient ourselves toward the radiant heart that burns beneath and inside all things. That uncreated light is the Christ consciousness within us, the divine being. Call it whatever you want, because ultimately it has no name. But it is experiential, and you can feel it for yourself. John 17, fifth one, 17:20 to 23. The prayer for oneness. I pray that they may all be one, as you, Mother, are in me and I am in you. May they also be in us. I am in them and you in me, that they may become completely one. Completely one. This is the peak of the mystical gospel. This is Yeshua's desire for us, his prayer for us, for everyone to awaken to oneness. And it's not just some beautiful idea, but as the truth of our existence, to awaken not to just the idea of it, even if it's beautiful, and it is, but to awaken to the very truth of our existence. Jesus is not asking us to believe in him from a distance, but to become what he was and is, radiant, united with the source, glowing with love. That's what he's telling us. And I know that you have touched this, or you wouldn't be here. Union is not just a reward for after death. It's the truth with a capital T, hidden in plain sight, here, now, waiting for us to remember. John 20, 16 to 18, Mary Magdalene's awakening. Jesus said to her, Mary. She turned and said to him, Rabboni, teacher. Mary Magdalene went to the disciples and said, I have seen the Lord. She had a vision. Many of us have had visions. Many of us have had visions. Mary's recognition of Jesus, it's not theological. It's not belief, it's relational, it's intimate. It touched your heart. He speaks her name and she awakens. She becomes the first apostle, not through dogma, not through joining a church, but through a mystical encounter. And that's how it always happens for real. This is how the soul meets the beloved with a capital B, not through ideas, which are important, but they're not the thing. They're never the thing, but through what is being seen and known in the center of your heart, and not our emotions. But the time when beauty speaks so loudly that there's a transfiguration of our hearts. When the divine calls your name, everything changes. The better part, Luke 10, number 7. Luke 10, 41 to 42. Martha, Martha, you are worried and distracted by so many things. There's only need for one thing. Mary has chosen the better part, which will not be taken away from her. You can't take it away. This is the story from when Lazarus was dying, or dead, actually. Well, he starts out dying, and then he ends up dead. Now here Mary sits in the stillness at Jesus' feet while Martha works and frets. Mary sits still. Jesus doesn't scold Martha, but he affirms the contemplative path. Mary's doing the right thing, and it's not going to be taken from her. It's not going to be taken from you ever. It can't be taken from you. That's the amazing thing. You can't ever have it taken from you. You can push it down, but it can't ever be taken. He says the stillness, the listening, the inward turning is the better part. That's the part that endures, the part that can't be taken away, won't be taken away. This is the life of the myth, receiving the word, as it's called in Christianity. The word became flesh, the Shakti energy, the Holy Spirit, the life force energy, that you, whatever you want to call this energy form. And people will debate about what it is, but it is, when you feel it, you know it. It is your soul life force energy, the mystery. And let it transform you. Let it transform us from the inside out through surrender. Luke 9, the transfiguration. And he was praying, and the appearance of his face changed, and his clothes became dazzling white. And this story resonates with what so many of us have glimpsed beyond the veil, the light itself. The transfiguration isn't just some story of a miracle. It's a story of the relationship of Jesus to the divine. It's the revelation of his own true nature and ours. That's what mystical experiences are. Yeshua becomes radiant with divine, uncreated light, not because it comes from somewhere else, but because it shines from within and is always there. This is the destiny of your soul. At the moment of your death, you'll see for yourself. To become light in the light. The Gospel of Thomas, Logii, saying 3. If those who lead you say, see, the kingdom is in the sky, then the birds will get there first. But the queendom is inside you, and it's outside you. When you come to know yourselves, then you will be known. When you come to know yourselves, you will be known. And I will add, you will know that you're known. And you will realize that you are children of the living one. This ancient saying, buried in the sands and silenced for centuries, gives us a mystical key. The realm, the dimension isn't far away. It's in you. It is you. When you know yourself, not your ego, not your roles, not your soul. Not your ego, not your self, not your role, but your soul. But your soul, when you know your soul, you realize your divinity. And we call this divination in Christianity. You are a child of the living one. Not metaphorically, actually. And we're going to go to Philippians 2, the great emptying, kenosis. Let the same mind be in you that was in Christ Jesus, who, though he was in the form of God, did not regard equality with God as something to be exploited, to be used selfishly, but emptied himself, humbled himself by not grasping. And this is the paradox. We become full by emptying. We become full by emptying. Yeshua surrenders everything, status, power, even his identity, especially identity. And in that self-emptying, divinity's fullness pours in. That's the truth for all of us. This is the way of the mystic. Like it or not, we descend, let go, surrender, and we become filled with light. It's like that old discussion of iron in the fire. Put an iron in the fire, like a blacksmith, and the blackness transforms into brightness. It liquefies into love. It's still ferrous, Fe, I think is the chemical. It's still iron, but there's fire in it, and it transformed from solid to liquid. This is a metaphor for what it's like to be inside the love. Still person, but also on fire in love. And so what do we see, friends? Yeshua, the mystic of Nazareth, isn't just a teacher of external commandments or telling us to believe in a God. He was a voice of the heart of the world, calling us inward. He can be the fire that consumes our smallness and selfishness, revealing our shining self if we listen and practice. He teaches the path, the light, the union itself, in the sense that I am who I am becomes the path itself. It's not out there somewhere. The light itself is the path. The big guru is the teacher. It is the self. The I am, it's the goal, the aim, the path, and the current situation. In these verses, we don't find doctrine to memorize, but rather a transformation to undergo by letting go. Yeshua says, come within, become whole. Let the fire of divine love dissolve into light inside of you. Let it just dissolve and permeate. And this is the journey that we're on. A journey of no distance. No distance. A journey of no distance. That's paradoxical. It's also a journey from mind to heart, to be in here. From fear to surrender, from separation to union. Heaven is, was, and always will be inside of you until you become it itself. And then it's not just inside of you, it becomes you. And we're still human until we die and transform into this freedom and healing that awaits us all. So let it shine, let it heal, let it guide, let it be. I'll see you next Sunday. Next Sunday, August 3rd. Next Sunday is the last Sunday for Not Church. And it's been great. It really has. I appreciate you going along the journey with me. I may produce videos here and there. We'll see how that goes. But I am becoming the chaplain at the Maine State Maximum Security Prison on September 8th, and I'm taking August off. Be at the conference, the International Association for Near-Death Studies Conference, where we're going to have a one-day retreat on Monday following the conference. And I begin the following Monday. Why did I do this? Well, if you want to really understand it, I'm going to send out an email this week. So sign up for the email soon, because sometime this week I've been writing it and drafting it, and I'll send it out, explain everything. But I love you all, and I appreciate all the journey that you come with me, and I won't disappear completely. The Mystic Tea Salon is going to continue in some form. Hoping the community is strong enough to be able to do that, and I'll drop in when I can. And I'll see you in August at the conference. And we've got about 5 minutes. I'm going to take a look over here. Christ in you, your hope of glory. That's the mystical language, the great mystery. That's it, Canadian lighthouse. That's true. Iron strikes iron to sharpen the senses. Iron strikes iron also to sharpen the soul. Thank you, Bill. A journey of personality to awareness. A journey of personality to awareness. Yeah. Hey, Tom. Congrats on your new chapter. Thank you, Zoe. I'll miss you. I'll miss you guys too. Thank you, Sue. Much love. Gonna miss you, and Godspeed. Much love to you. Thanks, Judy. Thanks, Peggy, for the love. Thanks, Candyman. Happy to have been here. I'm happy you've been here, Martha. Thank you. You changed my life for the better in so many ways. Thanks, Ellen. Love and appreciate you, Peter. Hi, Catherine. You're here live. You are following the Spirit and will bring such love and healing. Thank you. I'm going to need your prayers. Love you too. Thanks, Martha. Thank you, Peter. We'll miss you. Something wicked. Thanks. That's true. Love you, Peter. Thanks, Ashley. Let's skim back up a little bit. 68 attending. We got 73. Jamie Tree Talker. I've seen myself transfigured in visions and dreams, visitations with loved ones, pure white, shining light, pure love. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. You find heaven after death? Yeah, that's what happened to me. But also here, but definitely there. Oh, hi, Maggie. Down in my village with a poor signal, so not going to be with you with voice, but certainly in spirit. Well, everyone, all right. I will see you next week. But let's go to Mr. T Salon. The link is in the description. See you soon. Peace and love.